If you work with balls of yarn, a simple bowl or pot from the kitchen will keep it from rolling on the floor and attracting human hairs or pet hairs. If you're working your yarn from a center pull, you can place the ball down into a jar from disinfectant wipes. Place the cover back on. Another way to control the yarn is to place it in a bowl. Place a binder clip on the edge like that, and then pass your yarn through, and now your ball will move freely. It will stay in the bowl. When you're running out of yarn and you have about 12 inches of yarn left, take the new yarn and crisscross them so that it's like this. Pull the yarn in so that it's just a little bit further than the hook, and continue to work using both of the yarns. Now you can pull that yarn in and tuck that in tightly and keep on working. And there's the other end, so just leave that free and continue on. Now again, you can tug on both of those yarn ends. And those 2 stitches will be a little bit larger, but in some projects that won't matter. And then you can just trim off those ends. Now that yarn is locked in there, it's not going to unravel. If you need softer grips for your crochet hooks, these are usually used on pencils, like that. You can easily adapt them for your crochet hooks. On this one, it probably will fit fairly tightly here on this rounded section, but on these hooks, it's a little bit loose. So you can fix that by taking an elastic band and placing that around your hook first, like that, and then slide your grip down over it. If you don't have a container to store your crochet hooks in, sandwich bags are a great alternative, and you can easily see which hooks are in your bag. When I have small balls of yarn ends, I store them in these freezer bags. And then I use a shower hook and I attach them all together. If you have small amounts of yarn to save, you can wind it around a clothespin and tuck the yarn ends under there, and it will keep your ball from unraveling. If you're working on a large project where you have to count rows, mark every 10th row, and then when you want to know how many rows you've done, you can say 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Freezer bags are also great for keeping a work in progress together, and you can keep track of the yarn and the hook size on your label. If you're working on a pattern where it's important to have straight edges, such as a blanket, I'm going to show you how to have your edges completely straight. Okay, so after you have your foundation chain the correct length, if you're working in single crochet, you're going to single crochet in the 2nd stitch from the hook, and each stitch all the way across the row. Okay, there's your row of single crochet. Now you're going to chain 1 and turn. And to keep your edges straight, you're going to always work into this 1st stitch. Instead of using this as the 1st stitch, you're going to work into the 1st stitch. So make your 1st single crochet, and then single crochet in each stitch across the row. Like that. Chain 1 and turn. Again, work in the very 1st stitch, and single crochet in each stitch across the row. Like that. You can see my edges are nice and straight. And if you're working with double crochet, it's the same thing. Chain 2 and turn. Make your first double crochet right in that very 1st stitch, and work across the row. Single crochet, double crochet. If you don't have stitch markers, bread tags work great. You can slide that onto your stitch, and not only would they be good as a stitch marker, they will also keep your work from falling apart.